Hi again, it's Pat with River's Edge Chev, and our pie that we're making today for Pievember is pumpkin pie. It is a nice simple recipe to make. We have our pie crust here, which will be linked how to make that below on the video. And so our ingredients are a cup and a half of pumpkin puree, which this is home canned pumpkin here. We raised quite a few 2 years ago, and we canned up a bunch of it. So we have a cup and a half of pumpkin. We have a quarter of a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of regular white sugar, a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice, and half a teaspoon of salt, plus 2 cups of evaporated milk, or half and half. Anyway, and then 3 eggs. So we will get started with this right now. This is a nice flavorful pumpkin pie that's simple to make and always turns out pretty good. You want to beat your eggs up really well. Add our salt, and the salt will help beat the eggs up better. That it has a tendency to, I don't know, somehow or another it makes them more beatable. That it breaks them down a little bit so that they're more emulsified. Now we're going to add the sugar. And the sugar that we've used are actually, both of them we purchased from Costco. There's the organic raw brown sugar and then the organic white sugar, which isn't particularly white. It has kind of a cream color to it. And now we're going to add the pumpkin pie spice. And you can, of course, do this in a mixer or a blender or a food processor to just mix it up really good. I'm just doing it by hand today because I don't want to drag out all of the equipment. This pumpkin pie spice smells so good. It's from Star West. It's a supply house that we use that is retail or wholesale. And they have a really wonderful array of spices, spice mixes, and all kinds of things, teas, coffees, all kinds of stuff that it's worth checking out. Okay, now we're going to add the pumpkin. And I would say that this is probably at least 50% pumpkin and 50% winter squash, because with a good, nice orange winter squash, it can make a wonderful pumpkin pie. They're all kind of related anyway. And I think there's actually probably quite a few recipes out there that call for winter squash pies, which are basically a pumpkin pie. This smells so good. And if you have excess left over that won't fit in your pie shell, you can always put it into an oven-proof ramekin or a little baking dish. Just butter it up and then pour the pumpkin puree, the pumpkin mixture into it, and bake it at about 350 until it's set. And then you've got a really nice little pumpkin pudding. So pumpkin puddings actually take a lot of work out of making pumpkin pie, because then you don't have to make the pie crust. But pumpkin pie with the crust is always exceptionally good. Let that sit there for just a second while I clear this off. You want to stir the pumpkin mixture together enough so that all of the sugar dissolves, because if you don't, you can end up with layers in your pumpkin pie, which isn't a bad thing, but it looks a lot prettier if it just comes through and it's all even all the way through the interior. And this is completely dissolved now. And with this pie crust, let me show it to you. I think you can see that. The little butter flecks in there, that's gonna make the pie crust really nice and flaky. And it all fits. Now you could just go ahead and crimp the edges of your pie crust here along, you know, do the regular little scalloped edge. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to put little discs on that to make it just a little bit different this time. So I'm going to brush the edge of the pie crust with a little bit of water so that the little discs will adhere properly. So there we go. Like little petals. And just press them in place with your thumb. And I just used a little cookie cutter to make the little discs with the spare dough left over from filling the pie shell. It's just kind of fun to make things a little bit different, especially for special occasions. And we all know that Thanksgiving is definitely a special occasion. I personally think that pumpkin pie is great year-round, but usually we all just use it during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We always kind of consider it to be a fall dessert. Thank you. Yeah, it's very cute. It's like it's circled with petals. Anyway, I'm going to put this in the oven for about 15 minutes at 425, and then I'm going to reduce the temperature down to 325 and probably cover it with a piece of parchment paper so that it doesn't brown too much. Anyway, when this is done, we will be back. Anyway, we'll see you in a little while. So our pie is done, and this is what it looks like. Pretty nice. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Pievember!